Hello, everybody. Welcome to the From the Sidelines podcast. My name is Noah Tyree, and I'm here with Chad Davis, Devin Davis, and Josh Duvall.
How's it going?
And today, we're going to talk about some sports. Feel free to follow us on our Instagram and Twitter at the FTS Pod. Don't forget to subscribe to our iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube accounts. And send in questions or comments to us at theftspod@gmail.com. And let's go ahead and get started.
All right, to start it off, things might not be going great for Auburn, but these games were pretty great. How about the Final Four?
How about the Final Four?
How about that Final Four?
Yeah.
How about Kyle Guy?
Oh, you might as well say GOAT when you say Kyle Guy. He took over down the stretch.
No, Dakiti is not getting his praise here, guys. He is a big factor in that with all those blocks he had.
He had 5 blocks.
Yeah.
Ooh,
the offensive end, but on the defensive end, he held it together.
Yep, he held it together pretty well. Those blocks were very crucial in this game.
I think him and DeAndre Hunter combined for 7 blocks, I believe. Anyway, it was a crazy number.
He had 5 of them.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are bringing up the Virginia players, but I think their MVP was most definitely Samir Dowdy.
Oh yeah, Samir Dowdy.
Oh yeah.
Yep, he was definitely Virginia's best player.
For
sure.
They better hang his jersey if they win this title.
with as well possibly help from the referees. About that double dribble call. What do you all think about that?
No. We'll get to that. I want to go back to
I'm not even.
Dowdy.
Yeah, well, it's not even mentioning the referees.
That was such a boneheaded play. Like, I know you're trying to contest a shot, and
just stand in front of him, keep your hands up. No, don't jump.
Exactly. You can't just jump right into him. Don't put yourself in that situation. So, anyway, I just thought it was a really dumb decision.
Kyle Guy, though, he came through clutch on those free throws.
Oh, yeah.
And then
he looked real poised shooting them, didn't he? Like, he didn't even care. He knew that he was going to make those.
At the end of the game, he said he was terrified. I didn't believe him, though.
I know. I didn't believe it either.
He did a good job at hiding it, if that's the case.
Yeah, that is definitely. Like,
none of those shots hit the rim.
At all.
All right.
So what about that double dribble call now?
So that double dribble. Speaking of which, Ty Jerome was trying his hardest to give Auburn that game. He took two horrible 3-point shots. But anyway, and then so he's dribbling the ball up the court, right? He tries to go behind the back, dribbles it off his foot, and picks it back up with both hands and starts dribbling again. So that's
obviously,
I know it's like
dribble.
In the heat of the moment how you couldn't call it because like he just dropped the ball, but the defender didn't touch it. So you can't just pick the ball up. That's just the same thing as just picking the ball up and dribbling it again.
Absolutely.
Obvious.
I believe the ref was anticipating the intentional foul call and kind of skipped over the fact that the double dribble occurred prior to the foul.
I don't really know where they were at, but potentially, like based off the angle, they could have thought that it bounced off an Auburn player. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, what are the odds of that? Like,
I can't figure out why they would foul right after he dribbles it off his foot because he only had like 2 seconds left, and he was at half court. So he was just gonna throw the ball up, throw a prayer, and
the first
but that allowed them to reposition themselves.
Yeah, well, Jim Nantz said it best. That saved them right there. That foul saved them.
Yeah, the first intentional foul that they had before that, though, that was a good foul. Because that gave them time to set up some defense.
Yeah, it was a smart strategic play.
But that second one,
did you see? There's a picture on Instagram of Bryce Brown putting his hands on his throat, saying that Virginia was choking. And then then the meme was March Madness comes at you fast because he was sad laying down on the court at the end of the game.
Yeah.
At least Bruce Pearl does Bruce Pearl things.
At least he didn't pour beer on his head and get arrested. He's on that video.
And like I said before, Virginia tried to give that game away. They were up 10 with 4 minutes to go, and they let Auburn go on a 14-0 run.
Yeah, I I think Auburn definitely played better of those two teams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do too. But
Kyle Guy, he came through clutch though. He hit that three and he hit those free throws.
That foul shot in the corner was almost in. That was almost a 4-point play. It hit right off the front of the rim.
I was just a little bit short.
Yeah.
And Devin said Malik Dunbar on last show that Malik Dunbar had to show up. He, needless to say, I think he stayed back at the hotel.
They forgot to buy him a ticket.
Yeah.
I think is what happened.
Forgot to buy him
0 of 4.
He didn't even write the
0
point.
points and only 2 rebounds.
And he shot. He didn't. Yep, he didn't make a single shot. He was 0 from 4, 0 from 3, 0 from 3 from 3, and only played 9 minutes.
Hey, but the prediction came through. The prediction held true.
Yeah.
And Auburn didn't shoot very well, as I expected. Just 9 for 31 from 3. It's
Yeah.
not very efficient.
Purifoy didn't play as well as I expected either. I thought he would need to play really well for them to win, but he
did.
He played 29 minutes and he was 2 of 7, so didn't make a 3 and he shot 4.
All right, let's turn to the second game of the night slate.
The
What are our
not
thoughts
as
on
good game.
what are our thoughts on the Red Raiders taking down the Spartans?
Big Matt Mooney fan.
Takes down me and Noah's prediction of Michigan State winning, but overall,
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining because I want Texas Tech to win.
they were
by
the underdog and I wanted them to win, so.
I'm glad Jarrett Culver decided to show up at some point.
He was
There might
3
be
of
2 minutes.
12. He was 3 of 12.
Yeah.
Well, Jarrett Culver he won the Big 12 Player of the Year award. Like he's just too good of a player to not show up until like halfway through the second half. Like in the first half, I think he only had like 1 point and was just a non-factor. But he eventually stepped up with and hit that dagger 3 with about a minute left to go, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna have to show up the entire game against Virginia if they want to have a chance at winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he can't be having these cold spells. That's just not going to happen.
Exactly.
As far as Michigan State goes, Cassius Winston, he shot 4 of 16.
Yep, he did not play as well as I thought he would for all the hype he is receiving.
He finished with 16 points, so he did all right. He played the whole 40 minutes too.
He came close to his averages like he should, but
Yeah, he missed a few crucial shots that could have helped them.
yeah.
What was Texas up like 12? By
Yeah.
12 at the under 8 timeout?
The
Mhm.
13. 13.
Yeah, anyway, I think I remember seeing the under 8 timeout. Michigan State was making their run on their way back, and then I was thinking to myself, yikes, this is too much time. They're going to come back and make this a game of it. And sure enough, they did. But I like the way Texas Tech responded after they got the lead down to 1. They hit a couple threes, or Jarrett Culver hit that 3 and made their free throws down the stretch.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys think about the championship? What are your predictions?
I could give 3 reasons to each team, truly. Okay. I guess we're going to start off with Virginia and Kyle Guy, shouldn't we? The man in the regular season, Kyle Guy. Please listen to this. This is one of the most craziest statistics I've seen in quite some time. He shot for like 267 of Virginia's 769 3-point attempts this season, which equals out to 36.6% of them, and he's making it at a rate of 42.7. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
He is literally
feed the hot hand.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. He's the best threat from deep, and he's not even an impulse shooter. Like
as well as Ty Jerome, he's
absolutely a killer's mentality, and he never gets rattled in the end. Even though this game he kind of did.
I don't think Ty Jerome's that good of a player, but that's just me.
He still had 21. You know, he had 21. He slipped up a few times there at the end, but he had 21 points. So 9 rebounds as well and 6 assists. So he overall had a solid game. It was just the end of that game where he
Did
kind of
anybody follow DeAndre Hunter's stats? Anybody?
He had 14 points, 5 rebounds.
I saw him make some his stats may not speak for it, but he made some big plays near the end there.
Mm-hmm. I like DeAndre Hunter.
He might go in the top 5 pick.
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of draft experts are saying. Secondly, Virginia's only other loss than Duke was Florida State. And they did not have to play another team anywhere near that caliber with the experience, the depth, anything like that. And they have to play a Texas Tech team, which they should have this. They should. I'm not saying Texas Tech won't, but they should.
I would think Virginia would win, but
yeah, if you look at it on paper, like it doesn't.
The stats lean towards Virginia, but I want the storybook ending, and I want Texas Tech to win.
Well, everybody wants a storybook ending, but even according to ESPN's BPI, they have an 80% chance at winning this out. So
I don't think they're giving Texas Tech enough credit.
No, absolutely not. No.
Oh, no, for sure.
I could very easily see.
I think it's more like 60-40.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Beard won Coach of the Year.
Maybe even the
50-50. He's led a Texas Tech team that's never even been to the Final Four, to the championship game, and have a legitimate shot at winning.
Yep.
So I would not count him out at all.
Yep, absolutely. If this man can rally a team that lost 5 out of the top 6 scorers from last year's team and have them believe in the preseason that they were Final Four contender and now national title contender, you deserve to have some sort of credit. You do.
Yeah. All right, Chad, what's your prediction? Final prediction. Pick a team.
So I said Virginia last week.
Yep.
Do I still think that? Yeah, I'm still gonna go Virginia. Yeah.
All right, Noah. Final prediction. Pick a team.
I don't feel good about it though, but yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I feel like Kyle Guy, DeAndre Hunt, all of them are going to go into the NBA with a ring. I love Texas Tech, but I don't see this happening. I don't.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Texas Tech just because I want the storybook ending. But Devin, what do you think? What's your team?
I'm going to stick with the Cavaliers on Monday night.
Well, looks like you got an underdog, Josh. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how it goes Monday night.
Monday at a 9:20 Eastern start time.
Thank you, Chad, because we needed to know that.
All right. I just don't like that it's that late. But.
I don't either. Nobody does. So Coach Cal getting a lifetime extension at UK. What do y'all think?
Pat Horde. That's what I think of that.
Let's wait and get to Pat 40 later. So let's see, what was the deal? Who reported it? Seth Davis. Seth Davis reported it. He reported it as a lifetime contract extension. But what UK says, it's not lifetime, it's just like a long-term contract where he can pretty much stay as long as he wants and basically finish out his career at Kentucky. But there's not really any details yet on it, but it might be worth over $10 million a year.
I think it's a great decision by Kentucky because when you look at what Coach Cal has done over the last 10 years, he's ranking first in so many things, like most wins, most Final Fours, most Elite Eights, Sweet 16s. I don't think he'll fail. He hasn't failed yet, and I don't see him failing at all. And the recruiting classes that he bring in each year always have the potential to get to the championship, minus Archie Goodwin. We'll forget about that team. But other than that,
and you have to take Cal's recruiting over anyone really. Like I know Kay has gotten a lot of the superstars in the recent years, but Cal has been the more consistent recruiter, I think, with the one and done era.
He started it.
Yeah, what?
He started it. People just hopped on board.
Hey,
he builds solid teams every year, and I just think it's hard to go wrong with it. Like, who else are you going to get?
Yeah. Who wouldn't want a pay cut to go to UCLA though? Take less money, move to
No.
Pauley
that's
Pavilion.
No.
I mean, if
I
you want
think they were
Jalen Hands as
trolling
your
with that
star
before.
player,
If it wasn't a Pac-12 school, then maybe. But
yeah, Jalen Hands as your star player.
oh boy,
Oh, we love that.
And Pat 40, okay. Oh my
Yep,
gosh.
go on,
okay.
Chad. You do your thing. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing. Pat 40, he's a national college basketball analyst, and he works for Yahoo Sports. And I'll just do everyone a favor from saving you the torture of reading a Pat 40 article on Yahoo Sports. But he basically said that Cal is on a decline because his teams haven't been since 2015 because his teams haven't been that good, and he's only won one title in the past decade. But winning the title's hard. Like basketball in the NCAA tournament is random. Like it's single elimination. Like one screw up, your season's over. Like, and UConn won it 2 years, and those teams weren't even that good. So if we're measuring greatness on titles, we really going to put UConn up there? Look at how they're doing. It's just a mess. And he also said that it wasn't the best thing for Kentucky. Well, obviously, I have to disagree with that as well. Because, like, who else are you going to go out and get? Especially in recruiting. You can't really get a better recruiter than Cal. And Pat 40 just personally is out to get Cal. And it makes him act irrationally sometimes, I think.
And that is our recurring segment of Chad's Rant of the Week.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's go on to some baseball. How about Mike Trout? What do y'all think about him?
Well, I do believe that 4 home runs in 3 games with a .385 batting average is pretty okay in anybody's book. I think anybody can agree with that, right?
Oh, yeah. He's definitely reestablished himself after a slow start.
Absolutely. And not to mention following it with a 556 OBS and a 923 slugging out of 10 RBIs, 5 runs. Absolutely staggering stats within these last games.
Yep. Four of those runs in 3 days, too. And one of them was a grand slam.
This is why he was paid the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Deal was definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it.
He's still pretty young, too. Like,
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, when does the contract end? 32, and they get
12 years.
Yep, 12 years of that. 12 years of Mike Trout. Enjoy your blessing.
What about the top of the AL West? Focus on the Mariners' explosive offense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
8-2.
I can't
48 runs this year.
Yeah,
That's
I can't
crazy.
say I knew the Mariners would be this good. Like, who is their best player? Tim Beckham?
Well, it was coming into the season. It was supposed to be Mitch Haniger, but seeing what Domingo Santana and Ryan Healy have done, all have an OPS over 1,000, which is very impressive.
And they've had 47 RBIs. That's crazy.
And their starting pitching hasn't even been that good.
They've just hit like crazy.
It's been insane.
And I know they played the atrocious Red Sox for a series.
Yeah, they took 3 of the 4 games. 3 of the 4 games to the defending champs. That's crazy.
Do they really look like the defending champs?
No.
It's hard. If you were just came over to America and someone were to tell you, oh yeah, this is the same team that won the pennant last year, they would literally laugh in your face.
Literally, their pitching game has been horrible this year. To say the least, probably.
How on a scale of 1 to 10 on the worryometer, how worried are we about the Red Sox this year?
So last week I was only about like a 4 or 5, if I'm being honest. I thought they would turn it around. Mm-hmm. But another week's gone by, and it seems to have gotten worse.
I'm at an 8.
Probably out to I was going to say 8 or 9. It's pretty high.
Like the changes that they've made pitching-wise are just destroying them right now.
Yeah, Craig Kemp being the biggest one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we really can re-sign him, but anyway.
They've allowed a home run in every single game this season, and they've allowed multiple home runs in 5 games already, and 4 of those they've already allowed at least 3 home runs. So if that says anything about their pitching, it's bad. So
that's crazy.
Well,
perhaps
Porcello.
Yeah.
I can't with him.
I would at least think Chris Sale would at least do decent, but even he hasn't.
Oh, his velocity's been down. It's very concerning. He's been averaging 89 miles per hour on his four-seam fastball, down from 95 last year.
89 on his fastball. That's crazy.
It generated 0 whiffs per StatCast on his start on Tuesday. Right. Even though he got a quality start, only gave up 1 run. This is definitely a cause for concern.
Porcello has had a bad week, so I'm going to try to make him feel better. Not like he needs me to make him feel better. But so he pitched today, or no, not today, yesterday. He pitched 4 2/3 and gave up 7 ER. So, and if it makes him feel any better, Brian Johnson, the relief pitcher that came in after him, he also gave up 7 earned runs. But the difference between that is it took Brian Johnson 1 inning to give up 7 runs. So,
yep,
it's really unbelievable. And Brock Holt, he's on the IL because his son poked him in the eye. If that tells you how the season has gone so far.
Blake Swihart's been your best hitter.
I wish I were making that up.
Well, speaking of mediocrity and absolutely disgusting things, how about the Reds getting shut out in 3 straight games? Any thoughts on that, please?
Worst record in baseball sounds like the Cincinnati Reds for you.
Yep.
Nothing changed.
I grow up and that always starts off, doesn't it?
They won the first game of the year. Should have gone 162-0, but psych. Haven't won a game since.
A lot of players for them are underperforming. Like Jose Peraza, I did not think he'd start off with a 227 average. That's not good whatsoever.
227 average is good. Let me read you this stat. The Reds outfield, like all the players combined, they started out with the worst hitting performance in the history of the MLB. Their combined batting average was .092.
Yep. Their starting pitching has not been that great as well.
No.
And they made all those free agent moves trying to make it improve.
Yeah, and they did not.
Yasiel Puig and Matt Kemp have been complete duds
they've been, studs, to say the least. And then Scott Schebler, that might be the worst player I've ever seen. Literally had a 0 batting average through the first 5 games.
Oh, altogether, they're dead last in runs scored so far.
It was only 11 through 8 games.
Yep. His batting average is literally 8 right now. He has 1 or 2 hits.
They need Nick Senzel to come back from the minors quick.
Yep. Joey Votto can't be a one-man team.
He tried last year, but
he's going to have to try harder this year so far.
Well, he's tried many years. Let's rephrase there.
That's fair.
Each year he looks more unhappy at first base. Like, it's pretty bad. Moving on to bigger and better things, literally. Where do you think Zion Williamson will drop in the draft?
Well,
you mean drop as in at a team? I hope you don't mean
so at a team.
I would say pick-wise, he ain't dropping nowhere below the top.
No.
Number 1.
Oh, of course. That's unanimous. I'm thinking New York. I feel like that. I feel like a lot of moves are going to be made there.
It just depends on what they do in free agency, really.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. You're right.
For the Knicks to be attractive, I think they have to sign like 1 or 2 superstars in free agency.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Hinted at. Yes.
KD.
They have DeAndre Jordan as well, if he can perform.
If he can keep up rebounding like he does every year, then That's always good.
Let's see. Another team that I like personally is the Phoenix Suns. With Ayton and Booker, add Zion in there.
Josh Jackson too.
Bunch of young talent on that team.
I agree with that. I think you'd fit well with the Suns.
I tend to disagree with the Suns pick. I don't really see that fit being all that sunshine and rainbows.
Well, why not?
Well, I just think putting him with a ball dominant shoot first guard like Devin Booker, and then pairing him with a 7-footer and DeAndre Ayton trying to compete for space would be a bit difficult when you pair him with someone like Ayton. Just kind of clogging the lane, I think.
Yeah,
I understand that. But it'd be a really dope looking front court.
As long as, if Devin Booker is willing to give up the ball a little more and like settle into his role as a shooter, then I think it'd fit really well because, Zion's not the best at shooting. So if you surround him with a shooter like Devin Booker, then I think that could do some damage.
My favorite pick for Zion would have to be the Memphis Grizzlies. If they somehow got lucky and won the lottery, I definitely think
what are the chances? If they somehow got lucky, I mean, I guess they could always trade up.
What do they have to trade up?
Exactly.
They don't have much.
They could trade away their future. Like I don't.
I mean, they might have to give up Jaren Jackson if they want a chance at Zion.
Maybe Dylan Brooks. Maybe
Dylan Brooks. No way. Zion's no. Definitely Jaren Jackson. Dylan Brooks. No, he started. He had an okay rookie season, but he kind of fell out.
Wow.
I'd definitely like to pair Zion with a distributor like Mike Conley in the backcourt to help develop him and Jaren Jackson. I'd definitely like that tandem in the front court.
I honestly feel like they would trade Conley and try to go younger at the guard spot. He's starting to get up there in age. His contract's starting to take up a lot.
Yeah, they already moved off Marc Gasol this season, so I could definitely see that also.
Yeah, of course. So I can see it maybe a rebuild here. That's the thing about the Zion. He could go to a team that's rebuilding, and he's going to have to be patient, or he's going to have to go to a team that's near one piece to contending. Like, it's no in between.
What do you think about the Cavs? Second coming of LeBron? Even though
they don't need another first overall pick to blow.
I don't see how they could blow this one though, unless he gets injured.
Just take Anthony Bennett again, maybe.
Oh God! Hey, he's trying to make a comeback though. He's trying to make a comeback.
Okay, even if they don't get the first pick and get Zion, they can still get like R.J. Barrett or Ja Morant. Like it'd be really hard to mess it up.
Yeah, for real. And like pair them with Colin Sexton, Kevin Love. I think it could work out. All right. So more with NBA. What do y'all think about Russell Westbrook? Third season in a row, averaging a triple-double.
The man is insane.
I think this story kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Like, third season in a row, averaging a triple-double. Nobody in their right mind would even think that. Ever. Even Oscar had to do it once, and he's one of the greatest guards to ever play the game. Like,
he broke the record with 42 2 years ago in his MVP season.
Yeah. Do you all think he's just a stat patter, or do you think he's better than that? Because I think he's better than that. I don't believe he's padding stats. If anybody's padding stats, I think it's James Harden.
Let's not get too carried away here. That's its own argument in itself.
Right.
But yeah, I think Russell Westbrook's just insane, and he deserves a lot more credit.
Yep, absolutely right. All right, what is your performance of the week, guys? Personally, mine would be Chris Beard. He's been coaching too well. He's outcoached Roy Williams, outcoached Coach K, John Calipari, just all in this season alone. He's came over from very small schools of Little Rock and came over from Europe, but that all into one team and made them go to the national championship in less than 3 years.
Yep. Yeah, he's done very well. especially getting his team now to the championship. That's very impressive.
And they ended Kansas's streak of regular season Big 12 titles. Shared it with Kansas State.
Absolutely.
As well.
And the Big 12 committee had them ranking 7th in the rankings this season. Didn't even see them making it at all.
Yep, I completely agree. All right. I'm going to go on to mine. My performance of the week is none other than the GOAT, greatest of all time, Kyle Guy of the Virginia Cavaliers. Minus the controversial call. It wasn't his fault at the end of the game, but it wasn't his fault, like I said. Kyle Guy, he had 15 points, but what he did at the end of that game was clutch beyond belief. He hit that corner three, and then, of course, got fouled at the end by Samir Dowdy and hit all 3 of those free throws to win the game for them. That, when you're put at the line with that much pressure on that stage to hit 3 free throws, and he didn't even hit rim on a single one, that just blows my mind, and I think that's definitely one of the performances of the week.
Yeah, I especially like the free throws. When you're in the Final Four game and you are down 2 and you shoot a 3 and get fouled, you have to make all 3 of these free throws to win the game. And he did it. I commend him for that. So.
Yep. All right, Devin, what do you think? What's your performance of the week?
I'm going to go with perhaps the best hitter in baseball this season in Cody Bellinger. When you look at what he's been able to do, at least in the past week, he's leading Major League Baseball in home runs and RBIs with 6 and 17 respectively, and he's leading baseball in runs scored with 13. And when you look at their prolific Dodgers offense that we touched on last week, he's definitely the player that can catapult them to continue that success. He's 5th in the major league in OPS with an OPS of 1402, which is absolutely insane. Only behind the likes of Mike Trout, Christian Yelich, some of the studs that everyone knows. But Cody Bellinger is definitely bouncing back from his injury last year. And perhaps the biggest knock on him has been the fact that he can't hit lefties. But when you look at his stat line this past week, he hit 2 home runs off of lefties and has started every day against left-handed pitchers. So he's definitely making a nice step forward this year, and I'm excited to see him keep it up.
I agree. Yeah. All right.
We should have probably mentioned him more last week because he was also doing good last week, but Christian Yelich kind of took the spotlight on last week's episode.
Yeah.
My performance of the week, I'm going with Brody, Russell Westbrook's historic night. Tuesday, I think it was, against the Lakers. His Westbrook's stat line was 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 21 assists. And he also only had 2 turnovers. And he's the second player only to Wilt Chamberlain to have a straight 20-20-20 triple-double line.
Wilt the still, yep. That's crazy.
And he also clinched his 3rd straight season, averaging a triple-double. So I'm just saying that sounds really good. It takes a special player to do that. And, like, his milestones seem insurmountable. And the only knock on him, I guess, is that he could clean up some of his reckless plays, and he'd be, like, even more fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. He definitely had a historic night.
All right, and if you have any performances of the week that you would like to point out to us, feel free to email us at theftspod@gmail.com and include all of the performances of the week that stood out to you.
All right, guys, that concludes the end of this episode. Remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Again, our handle is @theftspod, and our DMs are always open, as we said last week, so feel free to send us a message. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we'll be back again next week.
Bye. Have a great time.